This video will discuss managing and reporting accrued revenue using Alert. Accrued revenue is revenue earned but not yet invoiced. There are two types of revenue accruals in Alert. One is revenue accrued for timesheets entered but not yet invoiced, and the other is for revenue accrued on a project percentage completion basis. Firstly, exploring revenue accrued for timesheets entered but not yet invoiced. To accrue revenue for timesheets entered but not yet invoiced, the Earn Revenue method setting on the Financial tab in the Project Maintenance form must be set to Hours Earned. The situation for this example project is that services have been performed, timesheets entered, but an invoice was not raised in Alert in the same financial period as the timesheets were entered, being July 2015. As a result of this, Alert has accrued revenue for July 2015 financial period for the value of services provided. A time and material invoice was then generated in August for the July 2015 timesheets, and some more timesheets entered in August 2015. Alert has therefore accrued revenue in July 2015, reversed this accrual amount in August 2015, and included all invoice revenue in August 2015. The result being that the revenue reported in July and August 2015 financial periods corresponds to the revenue earned based on the timesheets entered in those financial periods. On the Billings and Revenue tab, we can see this. In July 2015, Alert has calculated $12,150 of revenue from timesheets. No invoices were raised in July. An invoice was raised in August for $18,900, and this invoice related to timesheets entered in July and August. The invoice is charging for those timesheets. Alert has therefore brought that invoiced revenue to account in August, reversed the accrual from the prior period, leaving the timesheets entered in August revenue amount in August and the timesheets entered in July revenue amount in July. These two amounts add to the total value of the invoice that was eventually raised. The Earned Revenue method setting on the Financial tab in the Project Maintenance form, being Hours Earned, is therefore useful for projects such as these that are charged on a time and material basis, where it's not expected that invoices will be raised until after the financial period in which the timesheets were entered. Now for exploring revenue accrued on a project percentage completion basis. This method of calculating and reporting revenue earned is where a fixed amount project has revenue for a financial period calculated based on the percentage completion of the project in that financial period. A simpler example might be where a project will be invoiced sometime in the future for $10,000. At the end of the current financial period, the project is 60% complete. Alert will calculate that $6,000 of revenue should be reported in the current financial period and will therefore generate an accrual for $6,000. Let's look at this project as an actual example. Firstly, the Earned Revenue method for the project must be set to Project Percentage Complete, as we saw previously. Secondly, project tracking details must be entered in this form for the project. The baseline and total work must be entered by the project manager preferably prior to the project being commenced. Alert will then update actual work from timesheets entered for the project and calculate remaining work. In the example that we are looking at, we can see that the project is 73% complete, as at week ending the 4th of October. The project manager is able to change baseline work, total work, and all remaining work at any time. All other columns are unable to be edited. Of course, as different week endings are selected, then Alert will update the actual work column to reflect timesheets entered up until the last day for that week ending and provide the percentage completion as at that week ending. If we now go to the period revenue adjustments form for this project, we will be able to see that Alert has generated an accrual when the debtor's end of period was posted. If we double click on the notes field, we can see the calculation that Alert has performed to generate this particular accrual. The agreed charged amount from the customer order is $26,263.70. We can see the financial period start and end date for the current financial period, the project tracking weekend date that was used to determine the hours, and the project percentage complete. Based on that percentage completion, the calculated earned revenue amount is $19,164.62. This has been calculated and updated to Alert. Looking at the Billings and Revenue tab, we can see the accrual amount that was generated and the revenue that applies to this financial period, being September 2015. When an invoice is eventually raised for this project, Alert will automatically reverse the generated accrual so that we are left with only the invoiced amount, but with the revenue that is applied for each financial period that it has been earned in. This is the end of the discussion on accrued revenue.